The following is a presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Broadcasting from the campus of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty head women's basketball coach Alexis Sherard comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show is also brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan. Nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Mills for three. Yes! Avery Mills from 3rd Street. Liberty leads 57-51.
Now let's talk Liberty Flames women's basketball. Here's your host, the voice of the Lady Flames, Jamie Hall.
Welcome into another week here on the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. Coming up on today's program, we've got head coach Alexis Sherard talking about the trip to West Texas and New Mexico. A couple of nice wins against UTEP and New Mexico State. Not in that order, actually the other order. And we've also got Claudia Acin, Lady Flames point guard, with us, and we'll talk to her coming up here in just a second. The Lady Flames will have their first home game of the Conference USA slate coming up on Thursday, actually tonight. That game was originally scheduled to be a 7 o'clock start today. It's going to be at 5 o'clock. Had to get moved up for some reasons as far as to accommodate the Sam Houston team and some issues that they were dealing with. And so it will be a slightly earlier start time. And then the Lady Flames will play Louisiana Tech on Sunday. That's a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. It's going to be on ESPNU. That game was originally going to be on Saturday, but because of television reasons, it's gotten bumped back a day, which gives the Flames a little extra time to prepare for who was picked the number one team in the conference, the Lady Texters of La Tech. And now the aforementioned Claudia Acin joins us. Claudia, welcome onto the show.
Thank you.
Claudia, we'll talk off the court stuff because that's always more fun to me. I mean, we talk about basketball so much. You guys come on post game, and although we didn't get a chance to talk to you post game, you would have certainly been the player we would have talked to after the game at UTEP. But because of the flight and trying to get out, of course, if we would have known that once we got to the airport, we were going to sit in a delay for 2.5 hours, we would have had plenty of time. We could have talked to you after that ball game. So we'll almost treat this as if this is your Thompson Brooks Insurance player of the game and the conversation we weren't able to have out in West Texas. A great turnaround for you from the New Mexico State game to the UTEP game. I think you'd be the first one to say that the New Mexico State game, especially shooting the basketball, just didn't go the way that you wanted it to. 1 of 8 from the field, 2 points, and that just wasn't a pretty game all the way around. But you guys still got a victory, so that's the one little nugget that you can take, is even though it wasn't maybe everybody's best game offensively other than Avery lit it up with 25 points, you guys won. But then the turnaround to then playing 2 days later, the adjustment to the atmosphere out there, the altitude, the travel weary legs, everything seemed to kind of come together. And not just you, but the entire team played so much better in the game against UTEP. But let's speak about you individually first. What was your mindset after the New Mexico State game that allowed you to bounce back and have such a good game against UTEP?
Yeah, like you said, some days like the ball doesn't go in, and that game I was just like a little bit in my head, but like my teammates were playing good, and I was just like cheering from the bench. And then after that game, I was a little bit like down, but I was like, you know what, like how lucky I am to have another game where I can like prove myself. And yeah, I was just like, new game, new start. So that was my mind coming into the game.
And that's kind of a little bit of your career so far. You've there've been some opportunities where you've had a chance to get some decent minutes your first 2 years, and then there've been times that you've kind of had to sit on the sideline a lot during the last couple of years. I remember going all the way back to the game against Texas, and you played great in that game. I remember even their coach coming over and kind of congratulating you after that game. So there have been some kind of ups and downs, but how have you been able to kind of mentally go through, just kind of a Hawaii reference, the heavy surf, the heavy waves. Sometimes they're crashing into you and sometimes you're on top of them. But how have you been able to kind of circumvent all that?
Yeah, I think the past 2 years have made me like really strong mentally. And I've gained so much like experience, like learning from other players. And now that it's like my moment, or like I'm like one of the oldest ones, I think, I really learned from that, and I'm just taking advantage of it.
Something that just popped into my head as we were talking, because you've got a fellow country mate on the team with Emma Leon, but then as we go around not just the conference, but around just about any team we've played this year, on my roster, I'll have like a green highlighter for anybody that's a freshman, and I forget what color, a blue highlighter for anybody who's a senior or a graduate student, but then purple for anybody who's international. And there is a lot of purple on my rosters. It seems like almost every team that we've played has at least 3 or 4, and some, such as ourselves, 7, 8, international players. Is the international game just growing that much? What do you think is causing so many players from overseas coming?
Yeah, because I've noticed too in Conference USA, there's a lot of international players, and I just think like I've said it before, like here it's easier to like play at a high level and also like get a degree in school. So I think a lot of players like see that as an like advantage, and also like learning a new language like English or getting better at it. So I think it's a great opportunity.
And quite a few Spanish players as well. Mm-hmm. And any that you've ran into that you knew from back home?
Yeah, like actually this weekend, no, not this weekend, tomorrow, against Sam Houston, I have a really good friend there. And then I have one in FIU. In UTEP, I knew a few too.
Do you ever catch, because I guess they got to be more careful. You guys even have to be more careful. You can't really, it's not a code anymore because there's a lot of Spanish players, a lot of Spanish speaking, and especially at UTEP and New Mexico State, because it's so close to the Mexican border. There's a lot of people that speak Spanish fluently down in that part of the country. But are there times, though, that you can kind of use it as a code?
Well, me and Emma talk Catalan, so not like all of them know it. But there's a few that know Catalan too. But at this point, it doesn't matter.
And that's a regional dialect, if I remember what you told. So is Emma also from the same region that you're from? Mm-hmm. Okay. And is it, if you know Spanish and you hear someone speaking Catalan, can you pick up a little bit, or is it totally just like French?
If you're from Spain, since it's like a popular language, you can pick up a little bit. But like if we talk it fast, I don't think you can. And people from South America, I don't think. Yeah,
Mexico, not so much. That's interesting. So you guys do kind of have your own little secret code, which I'm sure works out a little bit on the basketball court, although her being a point guard as well, not as often that the two of you are going to be on the court together. But could it work out really nicely on bus rides when you guys are playing your little game?
Yeah, for sure.
Avery told us about the game. And I've already forgotten a lot of what she told us. But so remind me the name of the game.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Yeah.
And it is a constant. Like you guys get on the bus, you're playing the game. The game's
like
over.
Any free time we have, it's like Among Us. Like when we were in the airport, that the flight was delayed, Among Us.
And everybody in the airport knew. They didn't know what you were doing, but they knew that you guys were all, because you were kind of.
And we were so loud because we get too much into it, and then we're so loud, and everyone was like. But we were like trying to be careful in the airport because we can be screaming like, she killed me, or she like, because.
Right. But, which there was something weird that happened on New Year's Eve coming from UTEP, landing, I shouldn't say from UTEP, from El Paso, and then driving to New Mexico State that first night, which was New Year's Eve. It's probably about, I don't know, 11:30 Eastern. So it's getting close to the New Year. And we get pulled over and pulled off to this inspection area, and a state trooper in New Mexico is inspecting the bus, and so that's the last time when you got a state trooper on, you don't want to hear somebody screaming from the back of the bus, "There's a body over here," or something like that. You got to be careful. But that was also very odd to be stuck on the side of the road. It was a brand new bus. I mean, it still had the stickers on it. It was clean.
Yes.
And they were having to test the windshield wipers and open up all the emergency exits and all that stuff. Did you guys? I mean, because you were probably playing the game, didn't matter that much. But was it odd to celebrate New Year's on a bus?
To be honest, I didn't even notice there was a police officer inside until someone said, "Shh, like be careful," because we were saying like, "There's a body over here. She killed me," whatever. And then I saw, but and it was weird because the time difference. We were celebrating like Eastern time, and someone was like, "Yeah, Happy New Year," and I looked at the time, I was like, what are they saying? And then I remember. But yeah, it was so weird. But as basketball athletes, that's what we got to do.
When you think of celebrating New Year's, even as a student athlete here in the United States, do you celebrate the Spanish New Year? Do you celebrate Eastern, or wherever you are, you just celebrate that particular time zone?
The past 2 years, because usually we have practice the next day, so I kind of want to go to sleep. But yeah, the past 2 years I've celebrated like Spanish time, and last year my family was here, so we were just doing the Spanish time. And we do this thing that you eat 12 grapes, like the 12 seconds before. You count down like 12, 11 till 1, and then it's like Happy New Year. So we did that like with my family last year, and watching like the TV from Spain and going cool. Like at the same time. So yeah.
In Spain, do they have, because here we've got Ryan Seacrest and some others, but they kind of have all the musical acts, and is it the same in Spain?
Yeah, it's like the 12. You eat the 12 grapes, and then it's like all the music and artists like singing.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. So obviously it's a pretty big deal everywhere, but it's similar in how it's celebrated there as opposed to here. Maybe just a few. There's some weird. Every country has something a little weird. Like some people here will eat certain things. Like the first thing that you eat in the new year will bring you good fortune, and it's all superstition. But everybody kind of has their different way of doing things. And we've talked about some traditions that you have in Spain that we don't have here, and I think there was something on a radio station where they were talking about your Christmas tradition, not you specifically, but your country's Christmas tradition. Remind everybody, because it's very interesting.
Yeah, so we don't do Santa Claus. Well, at least like my hometown, we don't do Santa Claus. And the 24th at night or 25th morning, there's this log that has like a face. It's a little log, and kids just literally like hit it with a stick, and you sing a song, and then it kind of poops presents.
But that was on the radio. It was. Did you hear it? It was on one of the bus trips that we were on. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what that is. I know that story. I couldn't remember what the name of it was, but I remember the concept anyway. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk a little bit about a little bit about the season, but maybe how things are going off the court and academically as well. Back right after this here on the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community, and that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
It's bow time. It's not just football season. It's tailgate season. And that includes every kind of football, whether it's got goalkeepers or goalposts. The kick is good! Because it doesn't matter where or how you tailgate. When you've got crispy chicken and fluffy buttermilk biscuits from Bojangles, your tailgate is better than great. It's legendary. Head to Bojangles and order your tailgate box with boldly seasoned chicken, fixins, biscuits, and legendary iced tea today. It's bow time.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Welcome back in as we continue our conversation with Claudia Acin. Claudia, well, let me ask you this before we get going. What is the success rate of people saying your name correctly on the PA and the introductions? Because now you're a starter, you're getting your name every single game. You know, how close are they to getting it right?
I feel like it's gotten like really better.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've been impressed. Like every place that we've been to, I think they've said it pretty good.
Well, that's good.
So, yeah.
And you have a better chance in El Paso and New Mexico State, you know. But maybe you might run into a problem in Delaware. It might have a little bit more of a
I remember
northern...
the past years, like they've said it right in New Mexico, UTEP, and FIU, and I was like, oh, yeah, makes sense.
Kind of makes sense. So, yeah, but Louisiana, it's kind of more of a French vibe. But they might, you know, we'll see. Although we don't go to Louisiana Tech this year.
Not this year.
Or Sam Houston. The way the schedule worked out, you don't play Louisiana Tech or Sam Houston on the road, and there's two teams that you don't play at home. Jack State and Kennesaw State, I think, are the two that you don't play at home. Okay, so they're getting the names right. That's good. You missed a couple games earlier. This seems three games earlier this season, and you had to kind of deal with an illness, and you came through that. What did you learn in those 3 games of having to kind of sit on the sideline?
Yeah, I mean, I was really mad at first, like when I found out I had to sit out for like 3 games. I was really mad. But then I was like, you know what, maybe it's like a time to learn or like to pause, and then like maybe it's going to be great after, you know, like, and yeah, just seeing my teammates from the outside, like taking a step back and being able to just watch, I think it really helped me.
And we've seen too many injuries over the years as far as players with season-ending type injuries, and Caroline being one of those that stands out. But just how positive she is, even though she's dealt with the injuries. And having seen, and I know it wasn't an injury as much as it was an illness, but having seen some of your teammates go through missing time, did that kind of help you when you had to do it?
Yeah, I think Caroline is a great example. Like every time she's had an injury, like, and how she's always like with this great attitude, like staying positive. I was like, okay, I can't be like mad for 3 games when she's been out like for I don't know how much time. So that really helped me, like being there with Caroline, being able to talk to her. So yeah.
Who's your go-to player on the team that if you need to vent, that you can go talk to them, or if they need to vent, they know they can come to you?
I mean, I have a lot of them I can talk to, but probably Ify, since we're roommates, we spend all the time together. I know I can tell her like anything, and she's always like trying to help me.
And international as well, although not quite as far as international is concerned. Canada seems like it's not really. I mean, it is, but there's so much culturally that's similar to the United States. So, but how about the fabric of this team? The different voices, the different personalities, the different cultures that everybody comes from. How does it? Because you guys get along so well. How does that work?
I think like we've been really transparent, every single one of us, since the beginning, and that kind of gave like the freshmen like, you can trust me, you know? And I think they adjusted like really, really good, and they're so open, and yeah, we get along so well, like you said. We spend a lot of time together, like not even like on the court, like off the court. We're always trying like road trips, trying to play games, like stay together. So I think that really helps us.
There's a little karaoke the last trip too.
Yeah.
That was entertaining.
Coach Katie was saying like that win in UTEP like started that night, like with the karaoke, because we were like all together, like having fun with the coaches, like staff, like whoever.
Yeah, and it might have been the previous game, I can't remember, but there was a game where you guys, because Paul and I, Paul Carmen, who does the sports information, I think we were going to go in and get some water or something out of the team room and the meeting room. And you guys were still in there, and film was long gone, dinner was long gone. This was probably 2 hours after you could have left, and almost everybody was in the room. And I think you guys were watching YouTube videos, and I think watching some basketball games and stuff like that. So the connection that this team has, there's so many times that you're around each other so much that when the moment comes, okay, dinner's over, film's over, scout's over, you could go to your room and put your headphones on and just be in your own world, but that you guys kind of tend to gravitate to coming back to being together a lot.
Yeah, I think like with other teams, it's like what you said. We spend so much time on the court or like doing basketball stuff that it's like, oh, I need a break from them. But like with this team, it's the opposite. It's like we finish and we're like, oh, what can we do? Like we always have ideas. We're always doing something together. And then we look at the time and we're like, oh my gosh, it's like so late. We have to go to bed. But yeah, that's a good sign, I guess.
Yeah. And we kind of alluded to the game that you guys played, the Among Us game. And for those that maybe didn't watch the video with Avery earlier in the year that she explained it a little bit, give us your take on why that game is so popular with the team.
I don't know. I think JT started it, like she was playing, and we've all played before because I think it became popular for like when COVID was there. So she said it one day and we were like, oh, let's play, because it was like a bus ride. And you're basically like in a space kind of where there's different rooms and there's 2 imposters or 3. You choose depending on how many people. And these imposters have to kill like the other ones, like the other crewmates. Without getting caught. And then, yeah, like when you kill someone, the body is like left where they were killed. And then if someone sees, like you report it, and then we start like accusing each other, and you have to find out who the imposters were.
So if this game were only online and you were playing people that weren't in the room with you, then you'd be communicating a little bit through the game. But since you guys are in the room together, you can just turn around and go, Emmy's the imposter. I saw her just like you can like you can yell at each other on the bus, and like, I'm sure that adds a fun element to it.
Yeah, because there's a chat, like you can talk in that chat, but we don't use it because we're all in the same bus, and it makes it more fun. And we're yelling all the time and like accusing each other. So yeah. And
it's not really a graphic game. It's not Grand Theft Auto or something like that where there's just some gory game. It's more of a strategy game, and you've got to figure out who's being shady essentially.
And it's really hard because I think you can also like shapeshift. So sometimes I would shift into Amy. And I would be like, oh, I'm killing this person. And someone would see me as Amy. And they would be like, oh, I saw you, Amy. And it wasn't Amy, it was me. Like shape-shifting, so it's fun.
Okay, so that you get Does anything that happens in this game help the game of basketball?
I don't know. I mean, we definitely like get closer, and we all talk to each other. It doesn't matter who killed. Like I'm gonna say it out loud, you know. So I guess maybe that part can help.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to. I don't think I'm ready to play the game.
You should play. Like Laura has joined, Goatley, Ember.
What I would love to do though is just sit behind somebody and not give anything away, but just kind of watch for a little bit, you know, or like if you guys could scream your screen or something like that, to where maybe the rest of us could kind of just see what's going on and then get a better idea of it. But it sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds almost like one of those murder mystery kind of things where you go on a cruise and they set up this murder and you've got to figure out who did it, except you're kind of that's not sort of the same. You're in the middle of it.
I mean, bus rides get shorter, so I guess it's fun.
Yeah, and you got a pretty long one coming up when you play Delaware.
Yeah, so you're going to hear us for sure.
It's like 5 hours of figuring out who did it. How long does each game last?
I mean, it depends if the imposters get caught or not.
But on average...
15 minutes maybe.
Oh, so it's pretty short. So
yeah, no, it's short.
So when this is
we
happening,
just do a lot of rounds.
It's just multiple games.
Yeah.
So how do you determine who wins and who loses?
So if the imposters get caught, like, so let's say we're 10 players and there's 2 imposters. If they get caught, they lose. But then if the imposters like are killing everyone and they're like 2 imposters, 2 crewmates, like they're done.
Okay.
So they win.
So does it keep track of your record? Like, so if we looked right now, it could go, okay, Claudia is...
I think there's levels.
Okay.
Because like every time you get like beans, it's like money, kind of. And like you need a certain amount of beans to like pass a level. But also like it's not fair because like, for example, JT, me, I don't know if anyone else, like we've been playing for a long time. So we're not in the same page.
I gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, there's different. Yeah, it's kind of. I gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got just a couple minutes left, and I did say we were going to talk a little bit about the academic side of things. Remind everybody what you're studying, and what you want to be when basketball's over.
So I'm studying chemistry, and I would like to be a pharmacist when I finish. Go to like Spain, go to pharmacy school, and work there probably.
And I'm trying to remember, was there a family connection to pharmacy?
Not to pharmacy, but like my dad is a professor, a chemistry professor, and my aunt is also chemistry. Okay. They both studied chemistry, so yeah. I
gotcha. So you're 3 years into this, and you're still loving it. You're still that's the route you want to go.
Yes.
Very cool. Okay, well now we answered that one pretty quick, so we've got a few extra seconds left. What are some classes that you've had so far in your pursuit of this degree that you've enjoyed, and what are a couple that you go, boy, I wouldn't want to have to take that one again?
I'm going to start with the ones that I didn't enjoy, because those probably biology. We had I think Emmy and I had a class that was zoology. Ooh. We had to dissect so many animals. I hated that class. And then that I liked, the last chemistry that I took, I think it was general chemistry too. I really liked the professor, how he explained, and then that really helped me liking the class too.
Okay, so you would encourage people that go ahead. We can promote the professor that you liked.
Yeah, Professor Snyder, Dr. Snyder.
Dr. Snyder. Okay, Dr. Snyder. You get 2 thumbs up. I'll give you 1 too, even though I haven't had the class. But congratulations on a great game. And I know it's not just about individual one games, but it's been an outstanding start to the season, and I know that the Flames fans probably weren't sure what to expect coming into this year. There were a lot of players graduated and a few transferred, and I don't know if anybody really knew what the expectations should be. Have they been kind of what you expected so far?
Yeah, because I think like the returners, like we said, we're friends first and then like teammates. Like we're really good friends with each other, and I think the chemistry was already there. And then just being able to like practice together, play together, and I think it's also important that we all believed in this like so much, and we were like, it doesn't matter who left, like we got this. That really helped, and I think all of us like stepped up, and yeah.
It's a fun group to watch. You guys play a fun style of basketball when you get into a rhythm, and like you did against UTEP, and you were hitting everything, and Avery was playing great against New Mexico State, and she was hitting everything. And then there'll be some games where it's in the post, and you're dominating in the paint. So it's a fun group because you never know exactly how you guys are going to win a game. You've won in various ways so far this season.
I think it's really good. Like we know if one, like for example, me in New Mexico, I'm not hitting shots, I'm not there. Like someone else is going to come in and like do good, or someone else is going to step up. So I think that really helps us.
Well, Claudia, we appreciate you coming on the show and wish you nothing but the best the rest of the season.
Thank you for having me.
It was Claudia Acin. We'll be back with head coach Alexis Sherard right after this quick timeout here on the Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Lynchburg Nissan's model year in sales event is on, and the savings are huge. Remaining 25 models are tariff-free and have 0% up to 60 months. Discounts up to $7,100 off MSRP, and new cars starting at $18,950. Lynchburg Nissan is ready to pay up to 130% of fair KBB for your trade too. We also offer guaranteed credit approval. Inventory is limited and selling fast. Stop by or schedule your appointment at lynchburgnissan.com, home of the million-mile warranty.
You're listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Today's show will continue after this 1-minute timeout on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Rogers Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Plumbing. Your certified Generac backup generator experts. Online at callrogers.com.
The light from a star can take millions of years to reach Earth. So when you look at a star, you're looking back in time. But I see the future. I see exploration and courage. I see my country finding new horizons out there. And I see giant leaps making a comeback. I see myself. The future is where I'll make history.
This message is brought to you by the United States Space Force. More information is available at spaceforce.mil.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 35 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding Medicare, retirement planning, life insurance, the healthcare marketplace, and group insurance benefits. Call Thompson Brooks Insurance at 434-385-8500. That's 434-385-8500, or visit them online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Have you downloaded the Liberty Flames mobile app? If not, what are you waiting for? The Liberty Flames mobile app is your lifeline to Flames athletics. Get the latest news on your favorite teams, find upcoming schedules, buy and download tickets to the next game, listen to podcasts, and hear our online Liberty Flames Sports Network audio broadcasts.
Pass caught into the end zone. Light 'em up. Touchdown, Liberty.
It's all on the Liberty Flames mobile app. Download it for free from your mobile app store today.
Welcome back into this week's Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show. We're now joined by the head coach, Alexis Sherard. Coach, welcome in.
Thanks for having me, Jamie.
It's always fun to talk about 2 wins, and getting wins on the road in any conference and any level of basketball. Well, you're talking about the NBA, college basketball, or pickup games. If you have to go on the road and you're not used to the rims and you're not used to the environment, of course, just the travel is so tough when you're talking about New Mexico State and UTEP. And one of the things that kind of maybe gets missed a little bit is there's a fairly good elevation change as well. You're talking about 700-ish feet around here, and you go out there and you're at 4,000 feet. It's not quite the mile-high city, but it's getting awfully close. So to be able to claim 2 wins, and I think we can kind of toot the Lady Flames horn a little bit. They've never lost on that trip. 3 seasons, 6-0. What spells success when a lot of teams just cannot make that trip without at least dropping 1 game?
Well, we were blessed to come out with 2 wins because those are 2 talented teams, both New Mexico State, Keitha and Jody. And UTEP. They do a great job coaching those young ladies. They play very hard, and as you said, that is a difficult trip. It's a long travel with the elevation, the time change. Obviously, we were just coming from Hawaii a week or so ago, well, more than a week. But the ladies, I take my hat off to our ladies. They just played very, very hard. They persevered. They were locked in just with regards to their assignment. Obviously, we hadn't played for going on almost 2 weeks prior to New Mexico State. So, we were conscious of maybe some game rust being an issue for us. but we were able to persevere, especially over New Mexico State, and got a little better feel for the game, a little smoother in the UTEP game. So just very proud of our ladies, played very hard, and again, we're just continuing to learn how to win.
In that game against New Mexico State, it kind of turned into the Avery Mills show in the second half. 21 of her career high 25 points came after halftime, and sometimes a shooter gets in a zone and you just kind of have to sit back and let them cook. As we talk about Steph Curry kind of as the NBA example that everybody thinks of. Now, I'm sure you coached up that second half, right?
No, sometimes the best thing to do is not overcoach. The ladies, they know what I want. They know what I expect. We have great communication, great relationships. So I just try not to mess it up. But, I try to put them in spots on the floor to be successful. And obviously, they have to make the plays. Obviously, Avery shot the ball well. Her teammates were able to get the ball. On most of her shots, she's receiving screens. So, everyone's doing their job to, at the end of the day, have success for the outcome of the game.
Claudia, who we talked to earlier on in the show, it wasn't one of her better games offensively. Well, I guess in general, but you kind of see it on the offensive side. 1 of 8, you could tell she was struggling a little bit, but what a bounce back in the UTEP game. She goes from kind of being at the lowest valley to the highest peak because she picks up a career high against UTEP, and I'm kind of jumping away from the New Mexico State game. We'll kind of come back to that and get a few more little details about it. But speak about your point guard and how she was able to be resilient over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the 95 percentile. The 95 is everything besides shooting the basketball, and she obviously didn't have one of her better games. I'm sure she would like to play that game over again, but she was definitely locked in for the UTEP game. She's a tough-minded player, high IQ, and I was just very, very happy for her. She had a little bit of a tweak in her ankle. She said it wasn't bothering her, but I thought it was a little bit, but she really bounced back very, very well. She was locked in. She obviously made shots, shot the ball well. She defended, she rebounded, had some assists. So, she's capable of doing that. We say that in practice all the time. So, with Avery, with Claudia, we have players that we see shoot the ball very, very well in practice. So it was just good for her to bounce back. But I was very pleased with our bench, going back to New Mexico State, her not playing well. Our bench stepped in. JT played very well in Claudia's absence, not having a good game. So, but happy for Claudia. She deserves it. She's a hard worker. I come in the evening. She's here shooting around all the time. Her and Ify usually on the gun, getting some shots up. So, usually hard work pays off. Some games the ball just doesn't bounce your way. But if you stay true to the process, usually you come out with success.
Let's put a bow on that New Mexico State game. Again, not the prettiest of wins, but you got the run that you needed in the fourth quarter. And if you look back at time of possession, NFL fans kind of harp on that a lot, and it does mean a lot in the game of football. But in the game of basketball, if you put that run in at the right time, you could be trailing for what it was like the 33 minutes of the game, and then you just need to be winning the final second of the ball game, and that's exactly the way that it worked out. What went into that final 11-0 run that was able to put you guys over the top?
Well, throughout the game, we're always focusing on the rebounding margin. So we wanted to be winning the rebounding game throughout the game. And, I always just tell our ladies it's a 40-minute game. If we go up 10-2, poise. If we go down 10-2, poise. Just weather the storm. It's a full 40 minutes. You have to play for the all 4 quarters. And, I think over the course after out-of-conference games, going into conference, we're definitely learning what it takes, the level of intensity that it takes to win in conference. We talked about in conference, everyone knows your strengths and weaknesses. They know your sets. They know everyone's first and last name. So I was just very proud that our ladies stayed the course, because we, as you said, we're down 33 minutes of the game. It may have been tied a couple of times, but no one had their head down. Everyone was locked in. Every timeout that I had, I'm looking into their eyes, I see belief. So that just shows the character that we have on our team, and obviously it paid off.
I was joking with Avery after the game that because sometimes they talk about the broadcaster's jinx, and I may have gotten her with a free throw earlier in the year. So I was like, I tried to even it out because with I think it was 5:15 to go, there might have been a media timeout or just a timeout at that point. And I looked down and 19 turnovers, and I forget what we were trailing by. I said, well, we can't have any more turnovers if we're going to win this basketball game. And you guys had 0 turnovers in the final 5:15. So I took just a tiny bit of credit for that. Now, as you jump to the UTEP game, totally different as far as trailing throughout the New Mexico State game and never trailing throughout the UTEP game. What allowed you to jump out to such a good start in that ball game?
Well, as I said, I think just the New Mexico State game helped us brush the cobwebs off. I think we were 13 days off prior to the New Mexico State. So just putting a game under your belt, you get into game rhythm. That just plays a big difference in the game of basketball. And I think we were in rhythm after that New Mexico State game. Going into UTEP, we were in rhythm. We did an excellent film session, talked about our strengths and weaknesses in that game, really addressed some issues that we felt we had, especially with the slow start. So I thought the ladies responded very well. They were locked in. This is a very, very good group, and I'm very pleased just with regards to how they handle film, how they handle the review of film. We do film differently. Instead of myself narrating through film, any clip that's on, if a player's in that possession, they're narrating it themselves. They're talking about what they should have done differently, what they did well, what they would have done differently the next time. So, it's sort of a different spin, puts a little bit more ownership on them. We just started that this year. So I think we had a very successful film session after New Mexico State, and that carried on into the UTEP game.
I got a coaching question for you because I was trying to remember when you first started. I know you and Andy came in at the same time. Mm-hmm. I think Heather Stevens was still one of the assistant coaches, and Coach Green. That was it. There was 4 of you guys.
Right.
Now the staff continues to grow, which, as far as from a scouting and a preparation standpoint, that's outstanding because you've got more bullets in your gun and more knowledge in your bank. Mm-hmm. But how do you manage that many voices during timeouts and during the middle of the game when you're the head coach and you're hearing, now you've got 6, 7 voices coming at you?
Jamie, that's a great question because we actually had quite a few meetings in the fall, probably early September, just with regards to game management, assistant coaches' responsibility, huddles, coaches huddles, players huddles. So we have our assistant coaches, my assistant coaches, they have assignments. So depending on the game, depending whose scout it is, I'll have 2 or 3 coaches go right to the team. I'm talking about a timeout, make sure their heads are on right, make sure they're positive mentally. And then I'll have, another 2 or 3 with me, probably whoever the scout of the game, they'll be with me. Emma Hess, who's very familiar with our set. She's played for us for 4 years. She's usually with me. So I only keep 2 to 3 coaches with me in a coach's huddle, and then the rest of the 3 are talking to the players. And then each game we kind of rotate. So, all 6 of us aren't talking at the same time. I try to do small bites. And obviously if someone has a suggestion, they're always accessible. But for huddles, we try to really manage small group type philosophy just to maximize our potential.
And there's so many different backgrounds. You mentioned Emma being so, recently having played for you and under this most of this coaching staff, other than Brad Palmer, who's new this year. So she's familiar with the player side. She's familiar with the coaches side. So that's a good kind of transition. And she can kind of relate with the players because she played with a lot of them already. And then you got somebody like Brad Palmer, who's a brand new voice that comes in from I don't want to say the other side of the country, but there's different philosophies everywhere, so can give you kind of some fresh perspective as well.
Absolutely. No, the assistant coaches, they're doing a tremendous job. Everyone brings a different dynamic, a different strength. So I've been very pleased, but we definitely talked in length just with regards to assistant coaching game responsibilities just to maximize our potential because, as you said, we have several coaches. So I really wanted each assistant coach to have a specific assignment just with regards to players coming off the bench, timeouts during the game, substitutions, in-game adjustments. So, I'm very pleased just with regards to how they're responding and assisting me throughout the games.
Excellent. Well, let's jump ahead to the next game that's up on the schedule, and there was a little bit of a time change for this game as well. Sam Houston, the first conference home game for you guys coming up tonight, and it was originally a 7:00 game, and that was bumped back to 5:00. And how does that affect anything, or does it affect anything?
No, not really. I mean, it's just a 2-hour time difference from 7 to 5. Sam Houston has some administrative issues that we tried to accommodate them, and we were able to. So, no, not much of a big deal. If anything, that gives us 2 additional hours recovery time for our Sunday game. So not much of a major adjustment there. It was pretty much just something we were just trying to help Sam Houston out. They had something going on, so we just try to help them out with the time.
Well, speaking of Sam Houston, what challenges do they pose that you've seen in the scout so far?
Oh, well, I mean, Raven, she does an excellent job, and she's pressing probably 40% of the game. She has athletes. They're quick. They're strong. She brings size. I mean, those guards. They're pressuring you. 94 feet. So just with regards to handling the ball, I think they force about maybe close to 20 turnovers a game. So obviously that's been a little bit of an Achilles heel for us. So that'll obviously be a point of emphasis. But I think we just have to handle their pressure. I think we may have overall a size advantage, so we'll play inside out, and that's something that's not going to change. We won't change too much just with regards to our style of play, but we'll definitely have to handle their pressure and their quickness. They kind of create their offense from their defense, so we're aware of that. So turnovers, limiting our turnovers will be a big point of emphasis, and obviously controlling the boards.
I think we've talked so much about the play of Avery Mills because she gets a career high, and Claudia Acin, she gets a career high, and there was some foul trouble with the post, so maybe Emmy has kind of gone under the radar the last couple of games, and Lynn Peters has gone under the radar a little bit the last couple of games, but even though maybe they haven't had their best games of the season, you've still been fairly consistent in the post.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Emmy had 15. I don't forget what game it was. But, if you're scoring 15 points in a Division I college basketball game, I'll take that any night. So, but, I think the expectation for Emmy is pretty high, and we like that. But both of them, I tell them, with regards to fouling, if you have 2 fouls, you're still going to play in the first half and just be aggressive. And I trust Emmy Stout. She obviously fouled out. 1 or 2 of those calls I didn't necessarily agree with, but neither here nor there. I just want them to stay aggressive. But they're a big part of our team. So there's no doubt about how they serve our team and the value that they bring to it.
You've got kind of a unique situation with your 3s and 4s. They're fairly interchangeable. As a matter of fact, Liz Eistarter has gone from a 4 to a 3, and she can guard 1 to 5 really if you need her to. Talk about that flexibility and kind of the interchangeable parts that you have in those 2 positions.
Sure. So Liz played the 4 the majority, her whole career prior to this season. And as we were just trying to figure out lineups, at the end, long story short, we said we just need to put our best players on the floor. So that obviously with Ify playing this year is a tremendous rebounder. Liz, obviously, 3rd year, a lot of experience. We said we just have to put them on the floor at the same time. Liz, as you said, she can guard the 1 through 5. She has a high IQ. We had long meetings just with regards to transitioning her to the 3. So she was very receptive, and she's a talented player. So, they're very similar. I mean, they can both lead the break. They both rebound very well. They both shoot the 3. So, we have to put numbers on it just for identification purposes. But, I call them, they're both positionless, because if they get a rebound, I want them to rebound like a post. I want them to, push it like a point guard, and I want them to shoot it like a 2 guard. So they do a little bit of everything. So I'm very, very pleased. And they have good size. They're both, 6'2", 6'2 and a half, with great perimeter skills. They can defend, they can rebound. So, they obviously bring a plethora of talent to our backcourt and front court.
One last thing real quick. I know it's one game at a time, and the players don't look ahead, but let's just really quick, you got Louisiana Tech. It's a Sunday game. That's a little unique. You had a little extra time in between because of the television change, moving that to a Sunday. And they're the number one team preseason in the conference.
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously they returned a lot of players. Preseason number one, well, obviously preseason number two, so that'll be a big game. But as I always say, the most important game is going to be Thursday, Sam Houston. But Sunday, we're looking forward to the challenge. I tell our team every game of conference is going to be like a championship, and just with regards to being the reigning champions from last year, we're going to get everyone's best shot. So we need to be locked in, focused, and ready to go every night.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
Let's get as many fans out there as possible. And the way you can get to the game, and if you want tickets, you go to libertyflames.com. I know that Thursday game's a little early, so maybe ask your boss if you can sneak out, a few minutes ahead of time. But other than that, Sunday afternoon against La Tech, both of those, if you want to go ahead and get your season tickets, it's not too late. There's a lot of basketball to be played, so you can get those packages that'll get you in every home game from here on out. But again, go to libertyflames.com. If you want to follow us on the social media accounts, we'll have the broadcast there. If you can't come out to the games, you can listen along or watch on ESPN+. But we certainly appreciate your time and your interest in Lady Flames basketball, and we'll be there with you for the rest of this run this season as the Flames try to repeat as champions of Conference USA. Until we talk again, this is Jamie Hall saying so long and God bless.
You've been listening to the Liberty Women's Basketball Show with head coach Alexis Sherard on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Today's show has been presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Flames Women's Basketball Show has also been brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. Liberty Flames Basketball is an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.